留下了太多的精彩。 多项数据都是名列联盟的第1位，尤其是在这个常规赛拿到了17次 MVP， 创造了 LPL 的历史记录。所以我特别想问一下 Scott， 能够支持着你一路向前，一直保持一个非常高的竞技状态，最大的力量和信念是什么？
信念的话，要一直有想当最厉害的选手的一个想法吧。对。
一定要当最厉害的选手，我们把掌声送给 Scott 好吗？真的在这个春季赛给我们贡献出了太多的精彩了。那最后的一个问题，在未来
What's up, mates?
还有什么想要去突破的目标或者是成绩？
就希望之后也是自己能打出好的成绩吧。然后到现在的话，可能有一定选手是拿过世界冠军的，所以。 我想再拿一个吧。
再拿一个冠军，继续向着冠军的目标进发。那么接下来就是
Scout Chinese, is that clean or what? Good to see all of you guys. Good to see all of you.
上台为 Scout 授奖，有请。欢迎波比。
Oh, what is this guy wearing? The
拿上了象征着常规赛
MVP?
奖杯啊，然后颁给我们的 Scott。
MVP.
一起来合影，看向前方。
MVP.
MVP 的奖杯也是代表着 Scott 在这个春季赛常规赛付出的努力、辛劳和自己绝对的实力。
MVP.
OK， 感谢我们的颁奖嘉宾，感谢，请到台下稍事的休息。 我们要再一次的恭喜 Scott 获得了本赛季最有价值选手这样的一个称号，也希望 Scott 可以在未来自己的职业道路上继续心之所向，速履以往。那么今天的精彩比赛也即将开始，让我们一起来期待。
观看2023英雄联盟。
We're back, I guess. Welcome. I love getting these little things happening to us sometime, but yes, it is
Great.
Got a little bit of tech issues. We had a slight issue with the translation there, but regardless, Scout gets the MVP. Very thoroughly deserved. Actually beat the previous record held by, I believe it was Doonby, in a single split of the amount of regular season MVPs he was able to get. And I mean, it just makes sense. The guy has been a massive rock for LNG. His combination with Tarzan has been exceptional.
Isn't it insane to think that both the LNG mid laners, now that Doinby has sit out for this specific split, Scout picks up from 2023 and he
BDS.
continues this MVP trend, so really deserving for the mid laner of LNG.
BDS, Adam.
And maybe it is just a buff for these
Good to see all of you. I'm just sending my analytics to Live Sandbox.
Focus in on someone you really want them to do well. It tends to be the worst thing. I do believe I saw Cadril yesterday looking at 2018, the Shy highlights during or just after the Weibo series. So sometimes expectations can be a little bit of a bad thing for teams, but I think a lot of us are coming into here with very solid expectations of how this early game is going to go, because when you look at these two teams, you look at, Tarzan, as we just mentioned, Tarzan and Scout, but even just Tarzan in general, he is so active. He is so good at getting himself around the map that it's going to be all on Aki and on pretty much OMG as a whole, really, to try and contain him, to make sure they don't just, bleed across the map.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone has been mentioning Scout as the superstar of LNG, but I think the underlying hero is Tarzan. In my opinion, the most consistent jungler that we have in the LPL so far, especially with the meta kind of shifting away from the classic Maokai, Vice, Juan. He's been playing a lot of that Lee Sin, and when you give him a champion like the Lee Sin, man is such a good vision dodger. He just has so many unpredictable
Vision dodger.
And it really puts the enemy team off tempo. But talking about OMG, early tempo is their entire performance, and we need to talk about just how Aki has been improving throughout the entire split alongside Cream, and I think their duo synergy has been the reason why they've been able to get so many wins across the board.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that, for a lot of people, there was a lot of question marks with Doonby kind of getting dropped off as well. So We'll see what LNG can do. Of course, it's their first best of 5. We have seen it a couple of times before. It's that, you know, you don't get into double elimination. You haven't been able to build up that momentum. For OMG, though, however, they've been able to kind of come into this one here and kind of get themselves their first best of 5 out of the way, kind of feel how the stage goes. But I will say, for LNG, they are just absolutely monsters when it comes to the regular season. It really felt like I said earlier, we had our top 3 teams, LNG, EDG, and JDG, and LNG. Like, they're all on 13-3. The next closest was Weibo at 11-5, so 2 series off. And it does come down to those small little differences here. But for OMG, it's going to be about containing this big early game that we can see from the mid jungle, and also just trying to see if they can do anything different. Because I think for OMG, last time they played, I think it was in week 4. It was way back at the start of the split, and it was a 2-1, so it was relatively close.
I don't think they need to do too much different because Scout is just such a reliable mid lane carry with his versatile champion pool. He is the most aggressive mid laner in the LPL so far, and he's such a good, easy leader to follow, which guides the entirety of the team. Where I think LP and Hung, they are very consistent in their performance. I think LP plays a great weak side, bot side. However, when Hung and Tarzan are able to link together, that's when LNG is the most potent. As we need to talk about this top side because Shandy is going to be your main opponent when it comes to these.
Sorry guys, I'm just doing some housekeeping.
If you shut down Shandy and help Zika out a little bit, Scout and Tarzan is going to be very happy about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am just doing some housekeeping. I'm doing my tweet to make sure everybody knows what's up.
Zika, he's been fine. Now, I'm not going to say he's been bad because he hasn't, but it definitely doesn't feel like it's a point of power for the side of LNG. And that's where I feel like this matchup, this particular setup of these two teams, gets a little bit more interesting, because it does feel like if you can have time to do what he did against Top Esports here into Zika and into the team fights into LNG, this is a much harder to call series than I think a lot of people have. At least I have. I have LNG winning 3-0.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Zika, I think, is the most vulnerable player on LNG. He's very easy to gank, especially with his champions. I think your Neckin is very squishy in that early game. So if Aki is going to be able to focus down that top side and get Shanty ahead, and I mean, we already know what Shanty can do with a lead, even on a champion like Asante, but his entire champion pool has run the entire of playoffs.
Yes, wins is what.
For LNG as well, it's kind of been a slow burn.
It's time.
Organization. It feels like they are building bit by bit. You look at last year, just about missed out on Worlds. Bit unfortunate there throughout the gauntlet, and they have to keep kind of going forward.
It's time, guys.
2021 as well, so it does feel like they're finally finding.
Is Twitch quicker? Is Twitch quicker, guys? Oh, it's way quicker. Jesus. Guys, I will nominate Never Wakes Up. Cade Never Wakes Up. Just stay here. Stay here, guys. Stay.
2 days effectively before they've had to come in here and face this one. LNG coming in very fresh.
Time for nap.
There was an argument for both sides. If LNG win, look, they were fresh. They had themselves a later on the bracket. If OMG win, oh look, they were set up. They knew how they wanted to play. They were comfortable on the stage. There's so many ways you can look at it depending on the team. But I do think that, you know, it is fair to say that LNG are coming in as the favorites. But for OMG, there are opportunities for them, and I am going to be keeping a very keen eye of how this mid lane goes as well. We haven't even talked
Yo, Dead Riot. Thank you very much for the subscription. You, Stone Cold Killer. David, 11-8. 11-824. Thank you very much for your Prime Gaming. Appreciate it. I'm only stay if you an OMG dick sucker like me.
I feel like that's going to be so pivotal coming into this matchup.
Yeah, the most interesting thing about both of these teams is that they have
Maybe.
a significantly higher win rate when they do get the blue side. Specifically for LNG, they're sitting on 84% throughout the regular split in terms of that win rate, and that is so potent because I think when they are able to get an ideal mid-jungle duo alongside Scout and Tarzan, that's just what gets the ball rolling. So I'm wondering who gets blue side in the first match, because of course you want to be first picking the best in slot jungler for these competitions.
What do you say, Viper Chovy Tarzan reunion? Why not Sword? You don't want Sword there?
From the series a couple of days ago, where he has been just invading 24/7 and putting the enemy.
Thank you, Defalus. Would you rather lose one arm or one leg? I'd rather lose one leg.
how Shanji is kind of
To have a good excuse for not doing leg day. Can get like a prosthetic. I can get like Camille legs. Thank you, David. Imagine I had Camille legs. One nut or one kidney. I have a lot of kidneys in the family that we can share, so I'd keep my nuts. I don't need to drink alcohol and whatever abilities you lose from having one kidney. That's okay.
OMG are very much the underdogs in this particular story, but for LNG, they want to be part of that top 4 conversation. They want to join the
Holy, she was so aggressive.
And be in with a shot to go to MSI, because don't forget is that it's top 2 go to MSI. The winner, of course, goes straight to groups, and then the runner-up in the finals goes over to the play-ins. So there is still plenty of opportunity here for both of these teams to really kind of put down their mark. And I can't stress it.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you guys, but I think LNG is gonna stomp today. But we shall see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Who won the draft?
I think Shanji, out of all the top laners, probably has one of the highest damage shares as a top laner, where he is sitting on currently 31% in the playoffs. And that is probably the most insane thing, especially when the current meta is a bot-centric team comp. Everyone drafts around ADCs. Like you said, the hyper carries, the Asirius, the Zeres. But Abel has accepted his role solely into these drafts, where he is...
Ban... Whoa, whoa, whoa. I want to say ban Aphelios, but it's already banned. Jesus. Straight through the Counter-Strike.
Talking about here, Shanji cannot be allowed to have these big impact top laners. However, for OMG, they've gone with the jungle route. They said, look, Tarzan, you're the issue here. Vi, Lee Sin, and with the first pick Zeri, I imagine, yeah, the Wukong will be coming in here for Aqua.
LNG.
Mobile in that mid lane, but I'm really surprised that LNG has decided to opt in.
LNG.
I believe she's only played 1 in the past 15 games. So it's going to be a bit of a shake-up for this.
What I mean.
For Shanzi, I said that you need to ban out every single...
Who's striker? Guy from CS is BDS coach.
So if OMG doesn't...
Who worked with Adam in the past as well. Thought it could be a good match. It's my first 2-man episode. That's gonna be crazy.
Jack's blind because I think he recognizes right now with the
Alright.
here, great engage.
Okay.
Really let this go to the next band. You have to pick up the Zaya. It's so good in those kind of setups. But
The OMG fan is online.
probably going to be banning more top laners, with OMG able to ban out a couple of supports, and we're seeing a very different shift for coming in from both these teams.
Oh, SJ.
Our weak side is
Dankeschön.
our bot lane. We need to make sure that Abel and PP
Thank you very much.
are acceptable in terms of what they're able to bring to the table. Whereas LNG are saying, look, we need to make sure we lock in our top lane, make sure we get a good setup here for Zika. And it does feel like they're playing almost to their weaknesses to make sure they get a bit more comfort.
Yeah, OMG gonna look to ban out Scout's champion pool with this
8 ads. I popped ads before the stream. You're not serious, right?
I'm really curious what Shanji is going to pick, because I think when you do look at his champion pool, he has played
No.
a lot. It is his 2nd or 3rd most played, I believe, but is sitting on a 16% win rate. And we saw it being played in the previous series, and the 2 losses, quite literally, up against Toppies was on the sign, because he just looked a little bit lost when Shanji isn't given something that...
Also on draft.
2 or 3 people. OMG's team fights
Here, Veigar is very strong into red side.
already, but hopefully with
But, the creme de la creme champs are definitely okayish. I wonder if Scout is gonna drop a little Veigar on us here. I like his anti-ban against Sanji.
At the moment, Shanji's got plenty in the tank. I hope for the day in modern League of Legends we get to see him back on the Shyvana top, but looks like it's going to be the option here to try and just give something to Cream that he's very, very comfortable.
Okay, probably not playing Veigar into that. Oh damn, and before we get Scout Akali.
Instead, plenty to be taking off of the enemy team for the moment, and if you lock in the Renata, I feel like you're just kind of giving over a lot more of those key ultimates here over for OMG to use.
Renata's pretty strong here.
OMG's entire team composition so far is very low range, so this Renata is most likely going to be locked in as it is best in slot. But talking about the Silas getting...
Are we gonna get Silas Akali matchup?
Getting such a
Oh.
duo so far
This is probably safe.
is going to be amazing, because they're able to force a lot of
Well,
skirmishes where Cream
blue side comp is very strong against red side comp. But OMG don't seem to give a fuck. This is very OMG-esque, the red side. They have Hilly on Rakan. They have Cream on midi champ. Aki Wukong. LPL playoffs Wukong has been something else. Not so sure about this adaptation here. Okay. I don't like the Nautilus.
Make sure you can't get as easy engages going for yourself. Makes it for a pretty easy hook and stun.
Dragoon? Just pick a little Dragoon.
A little bit of a tidbit as
How about a Dragoon for Sanji?
17 champions in the regular split. And that's
Dragoon?
Yeah, I was gonna say you
Ew.
can't ban this man out. He's only played the Talia twice, has won both times, and the Scion gets locked in.
No Dragoon.
Smiles and good spirits coming out here from the OMG camp, but gonna go lock in that Scion, give themselves a nice kind of safe top lane, and go for the carry on Abel. It's gonna be
This is my favorite coach. 100%. Doesn't even come close. This man is my favorite coach. The passion. Backstage.
Currently sitting on 0% win rate, so hopefully they can turn the tides around with this draft. But so much team fighting AoE for this first draft from the OMG camp.
I am predicting 3-1 LNG. 3-1 LNG, everyone. 3-1 LNG. All aboard the LNG hype train. To de-escalate the OMG hype train. But talking about LNG, I mean, just is there a team you're cheering for in the LEC at the moment? No. I'm just cheering for my homies. I want Niski to do well. I want Upset to do well. I want Razork to do well. I want Humanoid to do well. I want Hilly to do well. I want Crowny to do well. I want Adam to do well. I want Mickey to do well. I want Leader to do well. I want Kobe to do well.
But it definitely felt like a little bit more chaos as such. The Scion does feel like a little bit of a safe pick. Not when OMG are playing it. They like to have weird and wonderful.
As long as my homie Smurf, then I'm happy. That's what I'm a fan of. Yeah, I thought Renata was a lot better than Nautilus. That's not the whole LEC. Those are just my homies. I want Jack Spectra and Jankos to do well, but they're not in playoffs. Yeah, I think Nautilus kind of made the draft worse. I like how you can explain most LPL supporters like, yeah, this guy's like Hilly. I noticed he didn't say Caps. Is there beef? No, I just don't know Caps that well. I've spoken to Caps occasionally, but we don't know each other like that. But I would love to work with Caps. I hope Dylan Falco gets bored at some point, and that I can. I hope he gets bored and G2. He's moving on to finish his baseball arc. Like Dylan Falco goes to coach baseball.
But talking about this top lane matchup, I just realized that OMG, their most banned champion is Jax. 21 games so far in this split. So curious on why they
no, of course.
For game 1, because he is kind of a two-trick where he is very good on the Jax and the Renekton, but look at that win rate, 6-1.
It's my way of saying it's not gonna happen.
And Shanzi, he needs to be on an impact.
Yeah, I felt like Blue Side was very strong before they locked in Nautilus. I feel like Nautilus is so bad here.
Well, when you go 13-3 in a season, you do tend to come out with winning matchups pretty much across the board, as you can see there. The only close one.
Jax has turbo value this game. I think Jax is super strong. Love me some Jax.
There aren't a lot of comfort here. You can see that PP God, especially with Rakan, just something he's so good at being able to just kind of create opportunities, go for those big movements that can just completely change a team fight. Him and Aki have been exceptional as a duo.
Notes is actually good though. What do you mean?
You want to see them linking up once more as they come into the series. And this only game
fuck off, Steph Curry, man. You don't get to do that. You don't get to put one message and then add the second. You don't get to do that. If you put it in the same message, it's very easy. But it's like when I read Twitch chat, I have so many doubts about the IQ of the writer. Yeah, this Nautilus is really big self-sabotage. What did the Ellis call it? The pheromones? The pheromones. We're about to pop off. What a man, what a man, what a man, what a man, what a man. But we need to pick melee champs with Sejuani. Could you explain your thought process for why Naut is bad in their comp? Basically, this Nautilus should never queue in. It's like, sure, you can queue in if the fight's turbo winning, but most of the time, it's like we're gonna be playing on Nautilus, on Talia range, and like something that Nautilus does better is he does better around first Drake fights and second Drake fights. And that's something that has decided a lot of games in the LPL. And also, as a team, LNG like to fight through mid, right? And lane-wise, Nautilus can definitely fight back more against Rakan. So this is like the positive side of it, right? But later, you're gonna not get that much value, right? It's like, you want to queue into this team, you give Silas a Nautilus ult, doesn't feel that great. That's what my headspace is at. It's like, if we look at LNG's identity, right, though, it's a lot of 3v3s around mid, they want to early snowball with the Drakes, Nautilus is good for that, right?
With PP picking up this Rakan and of course the Nautilus, it does change the entirety of OMG's playstyle a little bit. I believe that OMG, they were a big fan of...
At least it's like Talia, in my mind, Talia, Zeri, they are powerful enough to like provoke the enemy to be forced to force into you. And I think this is one of those moments where anything that allows you to disengage easier is good. Lulu was banned. Zillion would have been crazy if we saw some Zillion the other day.
Having continuous chain CC that allows Scout to just plant the damage, especially when you get that first hook.
And look, Kitty, we got a bit of a slow early.
Yeah, stop what you think he will go Zonya to prevent Silas stealing his ult? Maybe. Issue with buying Zonya on Naughty is that you're not gonna generate enough gold to then of course get yourself a mythic item. But yeah, it's like if Nautilus now, right, he is showing strength in lane, he's getting Zarya freeze, he's gonna base, open through mid. You know, this is what was good for Nautilus, right? It's like, compositionally, there's definitely better things to pick, but if this is what you want to achieve with your support pick, that's perfectly fine.
But if you wait a bit too long, then this Talia pick is going to get so annoying, especially in the hands of Scout, through 4 melee champions, only able, even Zai is not even amazing.
Zonia's is very expensive. Scout for second words out of this year? Probably not. I don't even think he's gonna win the LPL.
But if this Jax gets put in an isolated matchup, you don't really have someone to answer this in the side.
There goes first Drake indeed, yeah.
I don't really have the answer, but so far so good for OMG. Pick up the first dragon of the game. Thankfully, it's Chemtech from first off, so and an Ocean Lex, so we're already losing 2 of the potentially bad dragons. Depending on how you look at it, of course. Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be a Cloud Dragon. I'll be like, great, love that for us. But again, just kind of happy enough to see that both teams are just farming up here. I think honestly, LNG are happy as well. They kind of just let this one go up. Get
like if you want to counter OMG
look across the board on both sides.
Compositionally, then definitely there's better picks than Nautilus.
Is with these big ultimates, the Glacial Prison, the Talia's Weaver's Wall, of course, and of course the From the Depths from the Nautilus. These are big ultimates that can have game-changing impacts.
And something that I love about Hung is every time they have the perfect wave to roam on.
Isn't Brown doing it all but Peel better? Brown is not so good against Rakan. That lane matchup is really hard.
kills into Scout's hands, and that's how they start getting 1 kill by 1 kill and get that early lead.
I like Renata.
So far, very quiet early game from both
I think in a world where
take this because I think they really
in a world where you have
I mean, you've got the Zeri. It's a Zeri moment.
if the enemy team didn't have Silas, I think you could even play Maokai support.
One moment or two for the Zeri to absolutely pop off. Aki finds himself
Ashe support? No, don't like it anymore. I'm done with Ashe support.
Push, but it does mean the blue buff gets confirmed for Tarzan. PP God just saying, yep, our blue buff was stolen.
Now this is actually, you know what you do? You go Zeri mid into Silas, and then you go Senna, Cho'Gath. Catalyst is balanced, guys. Catalyst is balanced. Ooh! Good to see you, Munchables. How are you?
That was a very anticlimactic first blood as Cream was just refusing to die, but surprisingly,
Thoughts on Ashe ADC with Q max of the buffs? Yo, I like it.
while their mid laner got caught, I'm pretty sure Aki could have saved him with that 2v2, but he's like, nah fam, we're gonna prioritize this Herald and drop it towards this mid or bot lane. As we even saw Zuka roaming towards that.
That's the first 2v2 kill mid.
Proactive ones out of the two teams.
Praying for an OMG win, but no, it'll be LNG 3-1. Yeah, LNG 3-1 is definitely the one. 100%.
CS lead in the bot lane there, but we'll have a look at the replay here. And again, I feel like Cream
That's my man, Munchables.
was coming. They just got information from PP God. You shouldn't really be getting caught here.
Yeah, I mean, you already did force the flash out, and of course the E has been used. So once the CC lands from Tarzan, which was a really good ultimate, you are dead. As Aki was getting totally zoned out by. Because I didn't think that mattered too much. You had it Shandy next to you as well. We even saw the Cyrano getting burned, but you ended up being a 2v1 in that mid lane. Of course, the first blood going to Scout's hand, which is something that you don't want to be happening.
Yeah, the regular season MVP for a reason. And
Ooh!
start for him there.
Oh, that was a good stretch. Woo! That felt good, guys. That felt amazing.
On the screen there as well, but see Scout
Door Karantir.
by Aki, who does flash in.
Okay.
Oh, he keeps the dummy for the last
Ooh.
second to make sure he
Aki on Wukong. He's a different man on Wukong. Let's be honest.
Just too late to answer.
Let's be honest.
Aki coming up trumps here for LN or for OMG.
Scout just got assassinated in his own jungle, and that is why Wukong is such a priority pick for the side.
This is tricky though, because Wukong lost his ult now for the big. Ooh, okay, Abel.
Oh, he misjudged the flash. Oh no, Abel. He thought he could predict where LP was gonna go, and he gets punished for it. LNG.
OMG burned so much in preparation for this Drake. They were Zaya, Sams, Zaya ult, Wukong ult. This should be very winning for LNG.
As long as I guess he did burn the flash from LP, but that is not a good trade. As you fall down, also giving over a tower play. I don't know what OMG is really doing in this bot side, but we're gonna take another replay of this. He didn't expect Hung to be here, as he wanted
to squeeze more. Like his movement here on the E was really good.
And this flash was kind of a misplay, as you already see LP flashing downwards, but he went upwards. So this was just an overall.
Yeah. It was a very poorly placed flash.
Using the ultimate as well. This next dragonfly is going to be.
But LP could flash better too, right? He could have flashed later. How did LP get rooted though? He E'd during his auto Q, so it looked slower, but you can like. It's like you can Q E auto and then it will, you know, it will. Instead of, you know, it'll be instead of. You understand?
But it is definitely LNG who are feeling a little bit more comfortable walking forward with these two beefy boys in the Nautilus and the Sejuani.
Yeah, we don't have any TPs.
You get it?
Top lane is, it does seem like Shanty is going to.
You make spider sounds, yo. Team BDS, what kind of spiders you looking into? What kind of spider sounds like this? It's the muted. Alright. Wukong has ult again. The Drake has been alive long enough. Abel almost has ult. Almost. He's pinging it right now. He's like, yo, homies. Let me cook here. Let's see, Jax is connecting with the team. They pulled out the Drake towards top side. I love it when teams pull out the Drake. The pull-out game is supreme. Let's see what we can fish for. Hang is posturing. Cream didn't steal an ultimate yet. Is he gonna take the Sedge ult? Ooh, that's a good divider. Ooh, Tarzan. Tarzan is tanky. They cannot fight on Tarzan. Alright. Oh, Hang just blocks the Sion ult. That's really big. Abel got his ult back up. Abel's dead. Yeah, it's hilarious to me, dude. It's hilarious to me, bro. It's like, Red side is full melee comp, but the person who's playing the melee the hardest is Abel. What's happening?
And to such a messy team fight from the side of OMG. Abel caught in the middle of nowhere, flashing forward. Not even flashing forward, sorry, going forward, and just not getting any.
Abel is a masochist. Scout's ult is really nice. I'm surprised that out of all ults, Cream decides to take the Zeri one here. And then I don't think, like, I think they should have all committed on Tarzan here, because he might, I mean, not Tarzan, Scout. Scout doesn't have flash. I think Abel got kind of trolled here, because I think Silas commit on the wrong person. He eat through the rocks, so the rocks didn't matter anymore. I think they should have committed on the Talia with no flash in the pit.
This is the pivotal moment. This is what LNG do so well. They take
I can see what Abel is looking for here, right? Because Talia has no flash. I think they did some wrong focusing, which is kind of uncharacteristic from OMG. Because in all honesty, Talia's position there is not so easy to play from. Because Silas already eat through the rocks, so you could force her on the Talia. Talia was allowed to play the game way too hard there. A Hang blocking the ult into stopwatch was monstrous.
By zoning out 3 to 2 people, but in this specific game 1, Shanzi on the side not being able to do too much. We saw in the damage graphs, not even doing half of the Jaxes. And when you do only rely on Abel, I don't think he's consistent enough to be able to 1v9. And from the previous 2 instances, this Xayah is looking so.
That's why I pick Nautilus. Yeah, it's like Nautilus is Nautilus. It's like at the end of the day, Nautilus is Nautilus. You have Nautilus on your team. Fuck it, you know? It's like, it's not, we're gonna sit here and talk about Nautilus being terrible and lost UK game because of it. No way. Ooh. Ooh. Damn, the wall. Ooh, Abel. Abel born and raised. Damn. Holy shit, okay. That looked so good in the beginning there. That looked so good. Not gonna lie, the wall looked nice, but I think the way Talia landed was not good. Wow, what a turnaround. What a turnaround, guys. I think Talia needed to jump off the wall earlier. I think they needed to be careful after the Nautilus ult was burned, you know? They burned the Nautilus ult and they needed to kind of take it easy. Let's take a look at this again. I think Talia's position was a little bit too deep. And look at Talia where she lands. Look where she lands. She lands on top of Sion. That is a scout mistake. And then the flash of Zeri was also pretty troll. Like they just Sion is invisible. Well, that is not so bongo right there. Not so bongo is what we call it. Yeah. Sion ulting both carries, definitely you don't win.
So are OMG in the sense that, you know, you give them an opportunity to show what they can do and they will take it. I will say that
not so. So not so bongo.
Nowhere to go once he got caught. And that's the big thing you got to think about. Those small little differences that are able to kind of change the dynamic of a fight, be it the terrain, be it, you know.
Do you plan to return in summer? When I met you in summer. Where's your girlfriend? That's none of your damn business. Keep her name out of your mouth.
Once he picks up his second, he could also go for a whole break in that side. And Shandy just has no response. LNG looking for a pick onto Cream. Probably available.
Yeah, well, they don't want to give over. See, the thing is, that's not what they were trying to do there. There was an ultimate hijack available for Kareem. He couldn't take Tarzan's, but he could take Hung's. So he was like...
Did you watch Upload Top vs OMG? Not yet. Do you think Kitty would step on my face for free? Nah, man.
It is going to be traded back, you would imagine, on the bot side now for the Dragon and, of course, for the majority of the...
Atreus.
Spot lane turret.
Boy.
So, coming up to about...
Boy.
20 minutes, coming up to that mid-game, it is going to be fairly even. And again, we come back to what we expect from these teams.
Boy.
The execution of these team comps in those big 5v5s.
Yeah, I think LNG just need to play up their picks. We
Boy.
saw the combo from Tarzan and Scout. Once the first initial CC lands, you just need to
Convince Kato to co-stream together and force him to focus on games, not on stupid shit. It would be banger.
that is one person deleted, but in the previous fight, they just chucked
What's your profanity?
on this Rakan available. He just kind of got out, and of course, LP did
Boy.
a bit too
Atreus.
Zeri pick, but it should be fine. Not too big of a gold swing just quite yet.
There's this moment where I'm watching T1 and on Gen G, and I said, Zeus! And the top comment is, yo, Yamato sounds exactly like Kratos. What the fuck? Especially when he says, Zeus!
5 minutes or so of play, everyone's kind of happy to scale back up. Dragon will be spawning in 45 seconds or so. We can have a quick stock of the items. You can see the value.
I think it's Kato. Kato has gone ballistic, guys. Kato has gone supersonic ballistic.
Investing in the tenacity of this particular one. And interesting enough, actually, Tarzan, he's going to be away pretty much, not never.
He's gone supersonic ballistic. Thing is here, this Ocean Drake that LNG have secured allows them to, like, honestly, they should let Jax scale. I think this Ocean Drake is going to allow them to curve out in a way that really, really leverages the strength of their champions.
Play the fight a lot slower, being able to go in first, of course, and then healing it back up, and you engage once again, which is exactly what LNG is trying to look for. Now with the Baron available, I mean, the Herald did get dropped in top lane. No Tier 1
Honestly, I turn into
just quiet, but with OMG having this Tier 1 tower advantage, they are just able to put so much vision down for this Baron.
yeah, what the fuck is Zeus? Zeus? It's fucking Zeus. I'm not gonna change it, man. I'm not gonna change it. Zeus, King of the Gods. We're gonna stick to that. Zeus. Sounds better. Bro, when you say Zeus.
Maximum or minimum, I'd say about 9-10 minutes before we really kind of get to there. And that's when you're at 30 minutes. That's when you're at 3 items.
Zeus sounds pretentious. It does sound pretentious.
Here for Abel, you have the Runan's Hurricane here for LP alongside there, Heinun Quiver.
Yes, Munchables. Yes. Yes, yes. Yes.
The game about how you're able to kind of make yourself known.
Next time I see T1 in the hallway, I'm gonna say, Zeus!
Looks like OMG are happy to kind of roam around.
Where's my boy?
Continually control the vision.
Where's Atreus?
Or this Baron, I should say. As Han might be getting called out just a little bit.
Oh, Zeus is how you pronounce his real name in Korean. Okay, well now I feel like an asshole. Now I feel... now I feel like a dickhead. Oh shit. I'm very sorry. Oh man. Zeus. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I love it when I can watch LPL and I can just take it for granted that the teams are gonna be pushing side waves, going to mid, take river control, going to side waves, the enemy grouping through mid, take over vision side wave, and then going to side wave, and then repeat. Wait, Zeus is not... I think he said he doesn't mind it pronounced Zeus. Okay, back to being dickhead. Typical rich, Occidental. What's Occidental? White male behavior. Whoa.
It's going to be a bit of an issue. They're going to try and maybe commit a little bit here onto Tarzan. This is all a bit of a fight over.
I'm no white, I'm Jacob, man. I'm Yamato Cannon.
Blue is secured. Smite fight won by Tarzan. And everyone's just kind of happy scaling up for the moment. 2 items that are completed for Cream. He's going to have fully stacked onto his Rod of Ages as well, alongside that Zonya's Hourglass. So this is getting to a point.
Yo, Oisin, like Oisin, let them put a new picture. Let them put a new picture of you, man. This is a great picture of you, but honestly, he looks like a Giga Chat now. They need to update his picture.
Starting to feel the pressure just a little bit, but I believe that Hung was able to clear out the vision for this Baron, and it is only going to be sold for OMG. So if they're not careful with their tempo, LNG
They need to update his picture.
peek it under their noses, but we'll have to see what happens next because OMG picking up these items.
I couldn't ask him at Worlds because we were in the same group.
Once he's able to pick up a very valuable ult like the Sejuani or even the Nautilus ult for the engage for the side of OMG, pick by pick is the way they win, and Shanzi playing front to back as well with the Scion is looking ideal for this soul point.
Alright, 10 seconds.
Hangul can't spell Zeus. The best the language can do is either Zeus. They pick the ones that's easy to pronounce for Koreans. Alright.
And the thing is, OMG, if they don't feel like it, they don't want to take this, they can just leave this one go. They don't have to fight it if they do not want to.
Okay. I don't know why LNG looked like the posture for this. I didn't see Zika's items.
Big flank coming in.
LP. Oh, creme de la creme. Oh, this is gonna be juicy. He missed the Edo. He missed the Edo. Okay. That's why Hang, you know, on the Nautilus, he's not playing on same pace with everyone else. You can't play these fights too fast. I don't like that they're actually fighting this.
Some help right now. LP gets his own lightning crash, and everybody backs away. It only is the one for none. Health bars are low, but can you contest against this dragon? You're trying to get this health bar back up on Tarzan. And eventually the dragon will go down. Don't even need the jungler right now.
Yeah, the TP flank was really good. But the fact that Salas missed E is a big deal, but I think that they rushed into this, really. They rushed into this. I feel like on 3 core, they're going to be so much stronger, and Jax can literally 1v9. Stop saying he missed E, that's negative language. Yeah, I don't know, what are we doing here? What are we doing? What is this position here? Like, LP is in the pit, wastes E to start the fight. You know, we are fighting from the Tribush and Nautilus. So what's the plan here? The moment the enemy shows up, we need to E out of the pit anyway, so what's the point, yeah? What's the point? Me and my woman, yeah? Wanna book a table, yeah? For me and my woman, yeah? Renato, I wanna buy a tomato. I want it fresh. Basilico. Okay, PP God. PP, do you love me? Are you riding? Damn. What are you saying? I'm booking a table, yeah? Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Okay, I think the scaling is on the side here of blue side. Blue side is going to get absolutely juiced up here. I just don't know if the Black Cleaver was the correct buy. I think the tankier variant of Jaximus Prime here would have been fantastic. Yeah, my boy PP God has no flash for the Cloud. There's this guy called the Phone Jacker. The Phone Jacker. And he does this, he has this, he calls this restaurant to book a table. Munchables, do you know about the Phone Jacker? You're British.
Infinity Edge now for LP. These two big carries are very much online. And this is something as well. People kind of look at the Talia and they
big time. You know the Phone Jacker, or are you just big time British?
Specifically in the LPL, we have seen the Talia do monstrous amounts of work in these team fights just to be able to around.
I know him big time, alright.
Because you're basically shooting fish in a barrel. There is no one to contest you. You're just throwing rocks.
I think the face reveal made the racism too real. I think he shouldn't have revealed his face. I think if he didn't reveal his face, it was like, oh, it's ambiguous. We don't know what race, where he's from, what he is. You know, we don't know anything. But now when he's doing the Nigerian bank accountant and he's doing the whole Arabic man calling to, I am looking for a Duved player. Okay. Nice place rocks here to make Aki really fucked up here. Sanji is now going to be a stacking block here for the Zeri. I didn't see so much of the setup here. Okay, that's a Q. Keep the fight going. Zeri lost her passive stacks though. I think LP could have done a better job of keeping the stacks, but it just doesn't matter. Alright, I wanna take a step back here, guys.
The only way that LNG could come back into the game was sneaking that Scout as well. They're gonna look for an inhib in this mid lane with 2 people down on OMG.
All right.
It's going to be inhibitor, you would imagine, locked and loaded for the side of LNG. Oh, they do get a catch out there.
What prompts them to start it like this? It must have been the top wave push, right? Because this is bold as fuck, but at the same time, right? It's like you look at the item finishes, right? They want to leverage the void, they want to leverage the IE. Respect, man, respect. I just want to see the burst. Do they burst with anything here? Oh, Aki just sniffs. It's still 50-50? It's not 50-50. I need people to stop saying it's 50-50 when one team is hitting the Nash actively and the enemy needs to enter the pit. Stop calling that 50-50 for the love of God. The enemy has no vision, right? You're hitting it together, you can burst it together, and you can CC the guy coming into the pit. It being 50-50 is really a myth. So many things are in the favor of the homies in the pit.
Unfortunately for LNG, you don't really get a choice to push in those.
The only thing the enemy can burst is my hopes in OMG making MSI. Woo! Tanky. Blast them off. It's still a flip. There is some elevated, there is some risk, right? There is some risk, for sure. But it's not 50-50. It is not a flip.
You know, both sides drawing a line in the sand and saying, this is our side, that's your side. I'm kind of waiting for it now. OMG would love to be able to get this one here. TP going to be coming in on the backside. It's not going to be the ultimate flank like we saw.
They didn't have vision, it was pinged. And when I say vision, it's like they are aware, they were aware that the enemy does Nash, yes. But they don't have the exact health, you know?
Gets onto the backside here, but maybe caught out himself. Doesn't commit fully, but they commit back onto Hong. They jump in and they're trying to catch the Talia out as well.
Holy fuck.
Had a moment to really belong in this fight. LP's been caught. He drops the lightning to crash.
Bro, just never don't believe in OMG playing full melee. Holy shit, dude.
Try and survive, but I don't think he's going to be surviving much longer than this. He is going to be able to kind of give himself a little bit of an extra room to breathe, but he will be chased down, and Dragon's Soul will be going over to OMG.
And O'Shane
Whoa.
not entertained by OMG. Somehow they bring this game
Wow.
back
David
by
Poole, thank you very much. Let's jump into the replay right away, guys.
Ever since that 0 minute, but OMG
Do you guys don't mind? You guys don't mind that I pull up the replay right away, right?
was so desperately trying to get a flank angle onto the back line of OMG, but LNG took too long to pull the trigger with the Weaver's Wall going out early. Didn't really do too much, and Cream still locked down Scout straight away, and that is one of your
It sucks.
for this fight. But Hung not having the flash
Cream.
out once again, which this Nautilus pick for this game 1 is looking a little bit goofy. But with Cream flashing in, locking down Scout, there is not much you can do outside of this, and of course LP trying his best.
I don't know, Nautilus is just dead to eat shit at this point.
Fights and chokes is so insane. Abel not even dying here is just such a detrimental loss for LNG.
Let's see how the rocks are placed, because they see Cream. They're using a lot of tools already here on the Scion. It's like a good timing for them to push the button, you know? Yeah, I'm starting to be done with Talia, honestly. Talia always looks like she's doing much, but she's not doing much. Honestly, Cloud Soul is monstrous. Put some respect on Cloud Soul's name. Put some respect on Cloud Soul's name. 15% move speed is nuts. It is crazy.
Of course, Scout couldn't react to this Nautilus ult, so they had to play so extremely carefully. As Cream, he does just make or break the team fights with the amount of
LNG should still be fine. Ooh.
He is able to get his hands onto the back line. It is just bye-bye to Scout or LP. However, LP
They do anything for Cloud. Yeah, that's exactly what Offset is singing.
So Scout's positioning has to be so good for this next dragon. Oh, Baron.
Elder Game.
Again, like I said it a couple of times ago, I was like, oh, it feels like the next fight's going to be the last one, but it just feels like, you know, OMG throw it to LNG, LNG kind of throw it back. They're both just offering opportunities to come back into this one here. Neither team having a solidified lead as such, or enough to really kind of make anything else happen. GA finished up for LP, and that's going to be significant coming into the next fight. We'll have Flash for this Baron fight as well. Rabadon's Death Cap finished up for Cream and has 8 stacks in a Dark Seal. We may be looking towards turning that into a Magi Soul Stealer, but you can see there LNG haven't got a huge amount of control. They're trying to build it up right now. Scout maybe looking to try and set this one up. Again, it would be very quick with all 5 members here. They know that the Scion just reset.
Yeah, the issue is here at Nash, there's a lot of space for Scion to get a good angle, and Cream is now walking through this nice position. This is very hard, very difficult. Very difficult. Scion is blocking Cream really good. Good stopwatch. That's the Nautilus ult. Nice. Holy Tarzan. Oh, Tarzan missed. Tarzan missed. But the carries are safe. The carries are safe. Aki's Ghost is keeping the Zeri stacks on. Give it to us. Oh, he hit. Quick flash, but I think he could have flashed a little bit more narrow. You can see the difference between an LP Zeri and a Viper Zeri or a Ruler Zeri. It's not quite the same, it's not quite the same. He doesn't have the same sharpened teeth. Tarzan defended really well there. He defended really well. Top gap's crazy, it's just champ gap at this point. Jack's 0.3 items is a monster. Very beautiful LNG for kiting back, right? Kiting back. They need to be very sharp in terms of what space they figure is important, because Aki crossed the do not cross zone. We call this the Satan's asshole, This is the Satan's asshole, this is Satan's armpit. Don't cross these areas. Also, Rakan wasted W here, right? But Tarzan spotting and the wall blocking is such a big deal here. I don't know, Aki is W'd over the wall here. He's so slow. What is Aki doing? What is Aki doing? I don't know, he's collecting mushrooms. He's collecting mushrooms. LNG need to use this Nash now to really create a circumstance where they have the better position. They really need to leverage this. Hang. Oh, huge Talia rocks. That wasn't a Talia Wukong clone though. Wukong clone. Wow, what a throw. What a throw. LP is still alive though. Still zipping and zapping. Sanji didn't need to go. Oh, that's a huge W. Okay. Okay. I think it's very important for OMG in terms of how they distribute their tools. Run, boy, run. They're trying to murder you. Holy Cloud Soul. Cloud Soul gap, yeah. Quick replay, guys. Quick replay because we have the Nash setup. Okay, so Hang has no business being here, right? They are sacking the mid wave to push the bot wave, and my man's on some smoke. But here they killed them, they need to kite back. OMG are happy. OMG are happy. OMG are happy, right? They're happy. They need to kite back. There's no fight anymore. Any invitation here to continue is just a dream zone for Talia. They need to retweet. They need to retreat. We're in a fight again. Contest all the way through bottom side. Talia has TP. She's going to be able to wall him off. Tim Westwood blast him off. Oh, the Zaya gets it. The positioning is better here for LNG. Nautilus ult on LP. Wow. Good patience here from OMG now. Good patience now from OMG. Don't pursue. Always be aware of the space that is important. But now they're looking like they are going to lose their first inhibitor tower in this mid lane. Using so much pace right now. Shanji trying to maybe tank up this tower so they can just go for it. They know this is their opportunity with the Elder, with the minions.
Can they make it work? There's going to be a Talia wall to block them off, but all it does is delay for the moment. Shanji now moving up towards this top side just to make sure they can get as much as they possibly can. The game
Nice.
will end right here, right now. But again, OMG find a way back in Kitty. This is game one.
But why is
OMG, man. OMG. They learned the lesson, guys. They learned the lesson. Really, really big there. Very nice. The fact that they don't pursue a fight, right? It's so easy to get caught up in the momentum of a fight and give Talia and Zeri montage. But here they're aware of the right space, they focus on the right targets, these guys are already committed, hit, Nautilus ult on Zeri to deny her gameplay, and that's it, you know? That's all she wrote. And now they back off, they don't pursue, very nice. Captain Future, thank you very much for the Prime Gaming, I appreciate it, lots of love to you. Lots of love.
And LNG is just playing into their hands.
OMG is just the best team in the world, guys. I think it's a fact. Yo, Nadav, thank you very much. 3211.
That is very unfortunate. And look, when you're all clumped up like that with the
Yo, Pat H's, thank you very much for the Prime Gaming. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you kindly, guys.
come back into live and mid lane turret did go down.
How are they gonna dive? Sanji has an angle here. They have the Elder for just a little teeny tiny moment still. Oh, that's the one. That's beautiful. Very nice. Some first strike money in the bank. Okay. Yeah, this is the moment where you wish you had Ruler on your team or Viper on your team. Someone with crazy ass teeth that can really bite into the neck of the enemies, but this is not quite it. LP has never been the flashy type of guy. He's been Mr. Average, but at least consistent. He's been given space for the Scout and Tarzan show. I feel like this Jack's itemization kind of leaves me with feeling, you know, I think he should have just gone like the full tanky route. I think he could have accomplished more in such a game, but, you know, Divine Sunderer, Black Cleaver, Frozen Heart, Force of Nature, this type of route. Yeah. Tarzan, LNG is definitely like a team that reached their ceiling very early on, because they had a very clear identity, they played to it, and the players that are focused on in that identity are, of course, Scout and Tarzan, and these guys are world-class players. Okay, now they need to pay attention here, LP. Okay, they dodged the Nautilus ult. Aki finds the knock. I think LNG's players are playing these fights way too fucking fast. Way too fast. They're not paying attention to the Zeri. They're not paying attention to the Talia at all. And that's why we were a bit skeptical about seeing the Nautilus pick. These games go deep against the OMG lineup. This game is completely over. OMG. OMG. Cash rules everything around me, cream. Boop, 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 boop. Would it be maybe on MSI Analyst's desk? No, I didn't get invited. I think an issue of mine is that I approach Riot about working on the broadcast a little bit too late. So a lot of things were promised away. Or they just don't want me there. Maybe it's me coping.
Huge game one coming out from OMG. Really good to see them kind of coming out on top of what was, call a spade, it was a fiesta. It was chaotic as hell. And LNG made some good moves. That Baron should have been the thing that broke.
We're gonna be co-streaming MSI, so that's fucking fun. All of my homies are not gonna qualify to MSI anyway. Let's make the rounds. Let's make the rounds. Oh, look at him, look at this cheeky smile. Look at the cheeky smile. He's so happy. I know Dom, and I know when Dom's happy.